So big challenge for the whole team, but defense is going to have a big challenge. What's your level of confidence that they can rise to the challenge and do what they need to do to win?
Yeah, that's the big matchup. You know, obviously their quarterback is throwing for more yards than anybody in the country. They've got 3 outstanding receivers. It's a really good scheme. Kalen's done a nice job everywhere he's been with that scheme. So that's really, I think, from a defensive perspective, is our ability to disrupt their passing game and keep them off track. So that's going to be the challenge.
Can you talk about John Humphreys and his growth with the program over the last couple of years?
Yeah, John's continued to get better every single year. He's a tremendous work ethic. You know, you always see him out here on the field working on individual skills. Just got a great mindset when it comes to getting better on a daily basis. You know, he's a tall, long corner. Plays physical for us on the perimeter. And the more snaps he gets, the better he gets. So really happy where John is right now, and we'll continue to see him grow.
You talked about the length of the secondary being, as good or better as it's been since you've been here. How's that going to help you on Friday?
Well, you're playing some big receivers, and I think Penix is really accurate with the ball, but does throw it up sometimes, and their receivers do a great job of going to get it. So there's going to be some contested plays, and you hope when you got some size and some length that you can compete with those balls that are thrown up there.
How difficult is it, from just a coaching standpoint, to come in as a new coach, bring in a transfer quarterback, and then for them to hit the ground running so well?
They played in the same system, so I think it's a little bit different. It's not, they didn't take a transfer quarterback that they had no, Kalen and Penix have a history together. They were at Indiana together before, so I think it's a little bit different than a normal, taking a kid that wasn't in your program and bringing him through your program. I think he's got a pretty good grasp of that system because he played in it before.
Do you look back at some of that film with those two and the relationship and history they had early on? I know you said some of the Fresno stuff.
We've looked at the Fresno and
yeah.
the Washington stuff.
Okay.
As far as those 3 receivers that you mentioned, what do they each present as far as challenges individually?
Well, they're all tall and long, and each guy seems like in different games, each guy has been the standout guy. So I think it depends on what you do coverage-wise. Penix is really good at figuring out, kind of what the matchup is and what the matchup is they want to exploit. So, very rarely do you go into a game where there's 3 really outstanding receivers. And that's the big thing. Usually, sometimes it's always slanted. Hey, this guy gets the most targets, and then it drops off after that. This week, it kind of seems like it's been a week-to-week thing on who's been the guy that stepped up for them and who's been the feature guy. So, you just can't focus and concentrate on just one guy on the perimeter. You got to focus on all 3 of those guys.
Is the transfer portal kind of accelerating turnarounds like we're seeing at Washington? I mean, is that a big part of it?
I don't. I think you can look at one-offs and say it does, and you can look at the other way and say it doesn't. So I don't think there's enough data or history on that to be able to say that's what the reason is. So.
Losing some interior defensive linemen, how key has Magna been, the former walk-on, coming on and playing?
David's been great, and really happy for him. He's worked extremely hard since he's been here. That's kind of a common theme with all of our guys. They got tremendous work ethic. So David's getting out of everything that he puts into it, and I think you're starting to see that. I thought he really showed up in the Colorado game. He's a big, strong, physical guy that works extremely hard, and he's been a little bit of a presence in there for us. So.
Just to clarify on on Murphy being called for targeting, he does not have to sit out because he
went down in the first half. So.
Gotcha.
Jay Toya, is he good now, or is he still?
We'll see what he can do today.
Any update on Kane Madrano?
Yeah, Kane's running around today.
Gary Smith?
We'll see what Gary can do today also.
John Gaines?
Gaines is back soon.
All right, thanks, Coach.